Sunderland. Roofs is injured, Elborg in goal. Lucherel Hertrauder, Luke O'Nien, Omar Alderete, Trey Hume at the back, Granit Xhaka, Noah Siddiqui and Habib Diarra. Diarra scored the winner from the penalty spot in their last league win. It was at Leeds earlier this month. Chris Rigg, 18 years of age now, the Hebburn-born midfielder, has been part of Sunderland's first team squad for a good couple of years now. Shamsdeen Talbi and Brian Brobby up front. He is part of the Dutch squad for the international break. Brobby, he's got 5 goals. He's their joint top scorer, along with Enzo Lefebvre, who is on the bench. Simon Moore, Dennis Serkin, Elysia Mayenda, Reynildo, Wilson Isidore, Nordi Mukiele, Enzo Lefebvre, Harrison Jones, Jensen Jones is the Sunderland substitutes bench. And now war flags unfurl their banner. The Sunderland fans are not impressed. Newcastle United supporters looking out, like what they see. You've got a rather intimidating, rather scary looking magpie with a top hat on. It's got a Newcastle scarf, and it is perched on top of the Tyne Bridge, and you have images of the city either side of it. The Newcastle Castle, the Civic Centre, and a sign that says City of Newcastle upon Tyne. And now going into a bit of AC/DC as well to really get the crowd pumped up. And some smoke machines are doing their bit over at the East Stand. I have to say that's very impressive, John Anderson.
Yeah, it looks well, doesn't it? It really is impressive. It's they've done well. It's a very impressive, and we'd have to say intimidating, isn't it? First class, absolutely brilliant.
Now at the Gallagher end, it says, "Welcome to the region's capital. You've been gone for so long." That will wind up 1 or 2 on Wearside, I think. So war flags and the supporters at St James's Park certainly doing their bit. Very shortly it will be time for Newcastle United and Sunderland to step across the white line and go head to head. It's Derby Day at St James's Park, and it's nearly time.
The players will be in no doubt the size of the game, and I think reinforced by what happened earlier on the season against them. I think that for any new player that maybe wasn't fully aware of how big the game is will now certainly be aware, and sometimes only experience can give you that. The players will be ready for this game even though they need to be.
They will be ready, says Eddie Howe. Barcelona obviously in the build-up was bruising in that second half. They've been playing these high-level games all season in the Champions League. Every game is a big game, isn't it? And they knew that this was coming at the end of what's been, could be a season-defining month of March. They've obviously gone out the FA Cup and the Champions League, but they've won their last 2 Premier League games, and they finished this period of the season, Ando, with the most important league fixture of all. It's been a tough run, but they are used to the big occasion, aren't they? Very, very much a team that has had a big game every 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, look, we're down to single figures left now in the season, and they're all hugely important. You know, as you say, out of the Champions League, out of the FA Cup. Need to treat each of these games coming up as Champions League games, because we need to get points on the board if you want to get back into that European spot. Of course, it's still possible. Not too far away from it in points terms. Just depends on which competition you want to be in. You know, you'd look to be in the Champions League again. Of course, it's still possible, but we need to go on a run between now and the end of the season.
Well, we are waiting for the 2 teams and the referee, Anthony Taylor from Cheshire. 3rd Newcastle match of the campaign. He did the Man United away defeat and the victory at Spurs. 2 games that were, I think they were pretty much incident-free, which is always nice. Gary Bezic and Adam Nunn are the assistants. Andy Madley is 4th official. Paul Howard is the video assistant referee, Sean Massey Ellerstein, assistant VAR, and here comes the referee, grabs the ball, takes it off the platform by the side of the pitch, and Kieran Trippier, Newcastle's captain, leads them out with Granit Xhaka and Sunderland's players to his left. Cream tracksuit tops for Newcastle, blue training jackets for Sunderland with a bit of white and red on it. Big smile from Luke O'Nien, who's been with Sunderland since their League One days. Not a regular starter in the Premier League, in fact this is only his second start since their promotion. We'll see how he gets on, see how Joelinton gets on in a derby. Hopefully he will play with controlled aggression, Joelinton, today.
Yeah, look, these type of games can get to you mentally as well. We know what he's like from a physical point of view in the game, and he puts himself about, and he can be a bit rash, and he does silly things at times. He's got to curb that emotion, he's got to curb that physicality and do it all at the right times.
Players have shaken hands with each other and the referee and his team. And here we go at St James's Park on BBC Radio Newcastle. It's the 144th Tyne Weir derby. Newcastle will go 5 points ahead of Sunderland in the Premier League table if they win. A Sunderland win would take them above United by a point. That gap is currently 2 points. It's a big day, big game in the race for European football for Newcastle United. And I suppose if Sunderland were to get a result here, you'd say that maybe they're not out of it as well, because it would take them a bit closer. But very much about looking up the table for Newcastle. What about Nick Baltimore, Ando? Because it was an awful thing for him to experience at the derby, at the Stadium of Light, the header which settled the game. Different position for him today. He's in midfield without Sandro Tonali in the squad. You hope all the players in black and white perform well. I think if he had a good game, scored at the right end, I think that would mean a lot to everybody, wouldn't it, after what he experienced?
Look, I think everybody's making too much of what happened at the Stadium of Light. Yeah. You know, these things happen in football. The fact that it was in a derby game, obviously people make more of it. I don't think that it's something that will have played in his mind. You know, it happens. These things happen in games. You've just got to move on. You've got to concentrate on the next game. Will that be playing on his mind today? Definitely not. You know, he gets an opportunity to go and play. I said to Friday earlier on, you know, he comes across as very cool, very laid-back type of individual. You know, so got no worries about it at all.
Newcastle United have won the toss, so they will kick up the hill towards the Leazes end. That's to the left-hand side from our position in the first half, as they always want to do. Sunderland will get the game started. Blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks. Goalkeeper Elborg in orange. Petrauda, O'Nien, Alderete, Hume, Sadiki, Xhaka, Diarra, Rigg, Talby, Brobby, and Newcastle United. Black and white stripes, black shorts and socks. Ramsdale in goal in purple. Trippier, Botman, Byrne, Hall, Joelinton, Ramsey, Baltimore, Elanga, Barnes and Gordon. John Anderson, are they going to do it?
I definitely think so. I think because of what happened at the Stadium of Light, I think they'll want to go out and make a statement.
Sunderland have kicked off, they've gone back to the goalkeeper, it's in midfield, Baltimore whips it forwards, Gordon goes to chase, Elborg has it outside of his penalty box, diagonal ball to the Sunderland left wing, Joelinton knocks it forwards, Elanga inside, this is Barnes, comes back with it to Big Dan Byrne, out to Hall, closed down by Rigg, Hall up the line, Rigg's made the block, Byrne's got it, takes a touch, turns it away. Baltimore and Xhaka go for the ball, it bounces between them, O'Nien heads it to Xhaka, back to Alderete, he's missed his touch, and Alderete has ended up sticking it out of play on the far side. He's had a good season for them, the Paraguayan. He made a few mistakes early on in the derby at Stadium of Light, and he's made a a slight error there. They went unpunished, but he missed control, didn't control the ball actually, and Gordon put him under pressure and he knocked it out of play. Ramsdale's got it at the back. This is the Newcastle United perspective of the derby on BBC Radio Newcastle. If you want red and white slanted coverage, the Sunderland angle, you need to be listening on DAB or Freeview channel 711 to hear Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett. Sven Botman gets it back from Kieran Trippier inside to Ramsdale, just slowing it down. Newcastle, bit of possession. Dan Burn to Hall, goes on the outside, Riggs slides in, it's a throw, Hall takes a quick one, Barnes gets away in behind here, Trowder slowed it down and held the ball up. Head Trowder makes a challenge, that's gone behind for a goal kick. I don't know why Barnes just didn't keep going.
Good defending, wasn't it? Defended that situation well.
Sunderland goal kick, Head Trowder up against Barnes.
Could have whipped it in early as well, Barnes. He got half a yard, didn't fancy doing it on his left foot, tried to come back on his right, gave the defender an opportunity to get a tackle in.
It's a cloudy day at St James's Park, the floodlights are on, but I think we're going to get some sunshine at some point. It's threatening to break through. It's a dry afternoon, 0-0 after 2.5 minutes. Ramsey in midfield, finding Barnes, Hall on the outside, gets it across halfway, and Lewis Hall carries Newcastle forwards. Only Gordon close to the box, Hall swings it in, Elanga arriving! Anthony Elanga so close to another goal, just days after his double at Barcelona. He's got a good leap on him, and he arrived late and got up and powered a header just over.
Oh, what a header, what a great ball as well. Hall gets half a yard and he just bends a great ball in there, great pace on it. Elanga takes off. That's a couple of inches lower. Keeper's in big trouble. It's a great header. Unlucky, good start.
Sunderland not really had much of the ball yet. This is Joe Linton making a challenge, out it goes. It's a throw for the visitors. That's how they described Newcastle, wasn't it? At Stadium of Light, visitors in December. Trey Hume eventually puts the ball back into play. Trippier heads on. It's gone back off Talby. Baltimore to Joe Linton. Collected by Sunderland, and Brobby on the far side lays it off. Now they've got a runner, Diarra, stabbed away by Byrne. Ramsey with it. It's a foul on Ramsey by Xhaka. He was about 10 yards in front of Newcastle's penalty box, facing his own goal, and fouled by Xhaka. Botman on the diagonal. Elanga another leap, but a header won by Hume for Sunderland, who's gone down holding his face, and referee Anthony Taylor stopped the game. 0-0.
I didn't see anything in that.
As it's a suspected head injury, they do have to stop the match. Is there any contact?
No.
Elanga does get it well, Elanga, doesn't he?
He does climb well, yeah. I don't see how that's a free kick, I really don't.
You would expect Sunderland to do that at every opportunity, take an age over everything, slow down the play as much as they can as Gordon gets close to goalkeeper Elborg, and he blocked the clearance, but there was nobody around in black and white, and it went back into the box, and Elborg got it away, and now Brobby's got away from Botman but fouled him.
The free... What?
Yeah. Brobby got away from Botman, edge of the area, referees brought it back for a foul by Sunderland's muscular centre forward. Yeah, he's got hold of Botman's shirt, look.
They're not both got hold of each other's shirt.
I can't see Sven Botman doing anything wrong there.
Yeah.
Good refereeing, isn't it?
Well, that's two decisions he's made in the space of, 30 seconds.
Yeah. Glad he gave that one, because Brobby did get away, didn't he?
He did.
Ramsdale, diagonal free kick. Voltemada heads it inside. Oh. Free kick for Sunderland.
Didn't see Anthony in that one either.
Diarra just went flying. Ramsey was at his back. This is what Sunderland want. Scrappy, bitty, stop-start game.
Stop-start, yeah. They don't want the game to get into any rhythm whatsoever.
Referee Anthony Taylor, very experienced official, as the clock says 6 minutes and 12 seconds, points to his watch, blows the whistle.
We've only played about 4.
And now he's coming to the touchline. So I wonder what the referee has to sort out. He's going to have a word with the 4th official, Jason Tyndall, and Michael Proctor from the Sunderland bench. Everyone's getting a telling off. I don't know if there's been some words. It's very possible. Elborg, long ball forwards. Dan Burn's got a couple of yards on Brobby, heads it away. Head-Trouder forwards, out off Ramsey. Goalkeeper got lucky, didn't he, when he delayed the clearance?
Lucky. Yeah.
Gordon blocked it.
Needs to learn from that. Seemed to want to have all the time in the world. He's not going to get it from Gordon.
It's his 4th Sunderland appearance, that's all. Luke O'Nien, Mr. Sunderland, dries the ball on his blue shirt. There are supporters pointing at their wrists about the length of time it's taking Sunderland. Here comes O'Nien, long throw from the right, level with the edge of the area. Ramsdale pucks it out of the sky and wants to go quickly. Not much on for Ramsdale. Out it is to Trippier. Ilanga's just up the line, gets it on his right foot, back to Trippier, inside to Ramsey. Now Botman, Newcastle trying to find space with each pass. Joe Linton to Byrne, coming towards halfway, 0-0. Hall on the touchline. Byrne carries and continues to carry and flicks it outside to Hall, and he returns it towards Byrne. He slid it behind off Xhaka and won a corner. Dan Byrne interacts with the supporters at the bottom of the Leazes end. He enjoyed that challenge. Newcastle's first corner kick. Kieran Trippier comes across to take it.
Yeah, the return ball to him was a little bit overhit, wasn't it? He slid in those big long legs.
Aaron Ramsdale's come across to the bench for a word from Aaron Bartlett, the goalkeeping coach. He's now gone back on. Don't think there's any injury. Hall is staying back. Sunderland have brought everybody into the box to defend. There's the referee's whistle. They've got hold of Barnes in the middle, and Barnes is being shoved around by Siddiqui. Referee's telling them to leave it.
They're both at it, aren't they?
Yeah, Barnes reacted. Siddiqui's pushed him again. Barnes has pushed him back. Anthony Taylor, keep an eye on this. The ball's in play now. It's towards the back post. And it's backpedaling Botman who's headed it behind. Ilanga was coming in late round the back. Might have got there if Botman hadn't connected.
Ball just looked like it was dying, didn't it?
More Sunderland time wasting. Elborg going to O'Nien for a quick word. Then he plays it short to Luke O'Nien, who has a touch. Oh, he's given it straight to Baltimore. Here's Anthony Gordon. Gordon's to score, yes! Anthony Gordon has given Newcastle the lead on Derby Day. And it was Luke O'Nien who gave it away to Nick Baltimore, who rolled it forwards to Gordon. And he punished Sunderland and has put Newcastle United into an early lead. Newcastle United 1, Sunderland 0 after 10 minutes at St James's Park.
Well, talk about shooting yourself in the foot. O'Nien gets it short and he just on his left foot and he just gets nothing on it. And from that moment on they were in big trouble. Good finish. Finished it well. I mean, it's awful from Sunderland. It really is.
Gordon took it outside O'Nien and had another defender there to get the ball across and away from. Baltimore a couple of yards back from the D when he intercepted the high press. Sunderland taking a chance. O'Nien, nightmare for him. Great for Newcastle. Gordon's 17th of the season. And Elborg beaten. Got fingertip on it, but never keeping it out.
No.
Great start, and they could have been ahead already with the Ilanga flying header. Now they've got their goal, and Sunderland have only got themselves to blame.
Doing things like that, especially in games of this magnitude, you know, it's not if it's a boy that's doing it, you know, you're talking about a player who's got bags of experience.
Ramsey's lost the ball near halfway, he dallied, Gordon gets back, Xhaka out to Diarra, Gordon with him all the way, Diarra towards the corner, Gordon makes the challenge, Hall gets involved, Newcastle want a free kick, Sunderland get a throw from assistant referee Gary Bezic on the near side. Newcastle United 1, visitors 0. Long throw.
Are you stooping to that as well, are you?
I just thought I'd drop it in once or twice. I didn't mind it actually. Here's O'Nien with a throw, trying to make amends for his mistake towards the near post. Voltemade heads clear. Xhaka on the volley.
Still rising.
That went a long way wide when it eventually dropped. Good for Voltemade to be involved in the goal. Ramsdale, a lot of height on that one. Voltemade wanting to head on. Alderete's got there. Talby for Sunderland. The Moroccan Dan Burn brings it down. Might need to go back to the goalkeeper here. Burn. He's brought it out to the left touchline. Played it off Diarra. Hall hooks it over his shoulder. Xhaka with a header up. He's lost the flight of the ball. Voltemade's brought it down and turned well, and then got back up, holding off a blue shirt. Ramsey now to Burn. Good battling in the middle from Herr Voltemade, and Hall switches the play, and Trippier on looking for a Langer, but it's cleared. Botman then battling for it with Brobby, slides it over to the far touchline, and Sunderland let it go out for a throw.
Lively, isn't it?
Looking for their first win over Sunderland since 2011, and first here since the Halloween 2010, the 5-1. That's 10 league derbies for Newcastle, 7 defeats, 3 draws, without a victory in this fixture. Leading 1-0. Another Sunderland long throw. In it comes. It's a Newcastle header, and it's gone for a throw near the corner flag. Luke O'Nien is now on the left-hand side of the pitch. He's going to take it again. He's getting some verbals from the supporters close by. In comes his next throw, nobody on either post. Dan Burn, header away. Elanga tries to hook it on, didn't connect. Xhaka to O'Nien, back to Xhaka, sends a ball in, Joelinton heads it out. Foul on Botman, free kick to Newcastle United. Just another reminder, if you're looking for Sunderland perspective on the derby, we've split our frequencies on BBC Radio Newcastle. The red and white coverage is on DAB and Freeview Channel 711. And it's 1-0 through Anthony Gordon's goal. Ramsdale out to this near side. Voltemade's there with O'Nien. Barnes behind them, takes it down well and turns, gives it to Voltemade, who flicks it back to him. Barnes goes on the outside, chips it into the middle. Sunderland stick it out for a throw, about 15 yards back from the corner flag and the goal line. Lewis Hall is up. Newcastle might have a long throw here. And no, it's taken short.
Switched up again, Sunderland.
To Ramsey, who gets it back from Hall. Ramsey holding off Rigg, back to Trippier. Burn wants it far side of the area. They look for the big man. He's brought it down on his chest. He's got Elanga behind him. Here's Anthony Elanga. He lost the ball, but he's found Burn with a pass, and Joelinton tried to release Burn up the right wing, which is maybe not a natural habitat for him, and it's gone out for a throw. Listen, Elanga had one of those in Camp Nou the other night, and then he went and scored twice, so I'm still thinking about that header. If that had gone in, that would have been an unbelievable goal. That would have been like, I don't know, watching Les Ferdinand get up and power one in. It was just over the top. It was a brilliant header and a great ball in by Hall. But Newcastle do have a goal from Anthony Gordon, and they lead 1-0 against Sunderland, and the ball has been kept in by Joelinton on the far touchline. Sunderland win it back. Hume to Alderete. And he's played it away from O'Nien, and Gordon is on him. O'Nien forwards. Dan Burn has slipped. Chris Rigg can't keep it in. Newcastle throw.
Yeah, O'Nien hasn't had the best of starts, has he?
Burn away from Rigg to Hall. On up the line to Barnes, inside to Baltimore, a lovely flick to Hall. I think Baltimore started well. Lewis Hall still going, and he's played in his opposite fullback Kieran Trippier. Now he delivers across. A couple of Sunderland headers, corner kick. I think one headed it on to the other.
That was O'Nien who got the last touch.
That was a lovely flowing move.
Good ball played in as well, wasn't it? Trippier just stuck it into a decent area.
th minute. Chance for Newcastle to extend their lead over Sunderland. Hall keeps a deep position. Elanga's on the corner of the box. Got Ramsey in the D. Wonder if that could be crucial. Trippier floats it in. Burn looking for it. And Ramsey at the edge of the area stops the Sunderland counter-attack. And then he has a blocked shot, but there's an offside flag up against somebody. Maybe it hit them after Ramsey tried to fire it towards goal. Got it maybe 5 yards forwards into the box. Went out of play. Offside is the decision. Joelinton goes to follow Siddiqui in case Sunderland go short into midfield. They don't. They go to Alderete, who goes long from left centre back. Ramsdale smashes it back up the pitch, and Alderete forwards. They've got a player offside. Brobby barges into Botman. Newcastle have it. Trippier to Joelinton, and now Burn, and over to the feet of Lewis Hall. Barnes up the line on halfway, takes it back, gives it to Hall again, out to Baltimore, holding it up, drags it back, wins a throw.
It's a good start.
Obviously buoyed by the goal, but they'd started well in 10 minutes before Gordon scored, hadn't they, Ando?
Yeah, it's been a real good start by them.
Elanga's pass intercepted. Brobby near to the edge of the area following the interception. Out to Talby, who wins a throw off Trippier. O'Nien's presumably going to come forward and take this. And he picks up a different ball off an orange disc next to the pitch. Again, nobody on the posts. Ramsdale a couple of yards off his line. O'Nien lobs it in. Trippier's gone flying.
Kick.
Yeah.
Just dragging them all over the place.
Trey Hume, the guilty party there. 20 minutes gone already. Would like a second goal, but plenty of time for that. Atmosphere's good, isn't it?
Yeah, as you would expect when you go a goal up. Gives everybody a lift. Noise levels rise.
Ramsdale through the middle. Baltimore comes to head on. It's found its way towards Barnes, but Trouder intercepts. Xhaka on the ball. Diarra with Ramsey at his back plays it to O'Nien. He hammers it forwards. Dan Burn on his chest, then a header. Then Rigg on. Burn intercepts. Ramsey to Hall. He's got a man on. Hall fouled by Brobby near to the touchline. Could have been sent off at the Stadium of Light. He was on a yellow card and he left one in on Lewis Smiley, but got away with it that day. Brobby. He's again the player penalised for Sunderland today. Ramsdale's come across to the touchline, brings the ball in a couple of yards. Between 5 and 10 yards back from halfway. Newcastle United 1, Sunderland AFC 0. That's the latest score here on BBC Radio Newcastle in the derby. Ramsdale to the edge of the area. Burn trying to climb. It's a volleyed clearance from Sunderland by Trouder, who almost went to Liverpool in the January window. Elanga's got it inside to Voltemada. Xhaka at his back. Voltemada back to Trippier. Goalkeeper's on, and they play it to Ramsdale. Ramsey has got Xhaka closing him down. Over to Byrne. Up to Voltemada. Flicked outside to Barnes. Barnes has got runners. He brings it inside, then turns, goes back outside. Can he get a ball up the line? He's found one inside to Voltemada, looking for Hall on the stretch. They would have been in. Their moment was when it first came to Barnes, but then they still found a pass inside. Voltemada's had a decent 20 minutes, hasn't he, Ando?
Yeah, he's done all right, hasn't he?
Winning the ball back for the goal and some nice touches in midfield. Rig header on, Burn away. Voltemada, Xhaka's all over him. Referee wags his finger at both and says no foul. Botman's header goes out on the near side. Are they going to take yet another long throw?
You would think so.
It's about 25 yards from the goal. Look, O'Nien told...
take your time, son, you're getting beaten 1-0. Take all the time you want.
Referee to hurry up. It takes a short one, actually, and it's the run of Siddiqui up the near side. Back to O'Nien, delivers a ball. Byrne heads away from about 6 yards. This is Hume to Hertrauder. Is he going to shoot? No, plays it to Diarra, who slips but gets back up. Now O'Nien takes a touch, sends it across.
Awful.
Gordon flicks away. This is Hume. Ball rolled to the edge of the area to Siddiqui. Sunderland trying to get him behind. Barnes clears. Elanga chasing. Hume with a header to Xhaka. Just in front of halfway on the right. Xhaka's pass.
Oh, what a ball.
Outside of the left boot to Talby on the far touchline. Sunderland's left. Newcastle defending the goal at the Gallagher end. Talby goes for a curler. Oh, Ramsdale.
Save.
Great save. That was heading towards the top corner, and Ramsdale got up and got across to push it behind.
Yeah, it was a good save. Good technique, wasn't it? That's bending. Oh, it's still bending. Good save.
Aaron Ramsdale called on in the 24th minute to keep Newcastle 1-0 in front. Sunderland's corner from this near right-hand side. Granit Xhaka's left foot. It's a deep one. It's sent back into the middle. Newcastle with a header. Gordon half a clearance, then Rig over the top.
Lashed at it, didn't he? Seen the glory, lashed at it. Just needed a bit of composure. Always leaning back, always rising.
BBC Radio Newcastle. We've got Sunderland coverage, the red and white angle on DAB and Freeview channel 711. This is the Newcastle United perspective. Sunderland get a free kick. Trippier challenging for a header, and Hume is down again.
Yeah, Trippier just no intent, had his eyes on the ball. Never took his eyes off the ball. Just the coming together.
Gordon's goal in the 10th minute separates the teams. Sunderland there with a couple of chances. They've had multiple long throws in the Newcastle half, and they've also taken some risks and been punished for one of them, playing out from the back. O'Nien may have slipped as he lost it, but Newcastle made them pay. Hertrauder back to Diarra, two of Sunderland's summer signings there. Cross into the middle, flicked on, just hit a player in blue, and Ramsdale picks it up. Now he rolls it out to Joe Linton, who turns, comes inside to central midfield. Voltemada, Barnes making the run in behind. Voltemada's pass, O'Nien rolls it back to Elborg, who clears. They were very nearly in, United. Joe Linton, big header on. Alderete into midfield, Xhaka up. Dan Byrne here comes and plants a header on it. O'Nien then volleys it clear near the centre circle. Botman and Brobby battling. Byrne is covering, comes across to the right, gives it to Trippier, plays it up the line. Elanga trying to hold it. Great touch by Elanga. Then looked for a pass inside. It hit a Sunderland player, but it's come to Joe Linton. 1-0 to Newcastle. Ramsey back to Hall. And he moves it inside to Botman. Plenty of space for Botman. Dan Burn to his right. Joe Linton just ahead. Plays the way he's facing. Back to Burn. Now Trippier. In behind. Nobody made the run. Elborg on his thigh. The young goalkeeper. Gets it back from Alderete. Edge of the area. Elborg is taking again a chance. Now Brobby holding it up, Botman with him. Brobby backing in and getting turned. Strong play, and Ramsey comes in to roll it back to Ramsdale. He's a proper unit, isn't he, Brobby?
It took him forever to get torn, didn't it? He had options right or left.
Here's Elanga, a run across midfield. Good ball to Voltemada, back to Burn. Elanga's now on this near side. Hall to Ramsey, who tracked back well there. It was important. He's played it to Botman, and Trippier gets it. There's nobody on the right wing because Trippier nutmeg on Talby. Didn't need anybody up the line. He's gone for the diagonal. There, Trowder heads it. It's going to go behind for a corner. Tried to be clever and just glance it back to Elborg, but he got it wrong. Corner kick on the left. Newcastle 1, Sunderland 0.
Making basic mistakes, aren't they, Sunderland? I mean, that's a straightforward header just back to your goalkeeper. He gets it totally wrong.
There's a sign at the bottom of the away section put up by Newcastle United.
I thought Sunderland fans brought that.
Eddie Howe's Black and White Army.
Did Sunderland fans not bring that?
Well, they spend a lot of time talking and thinking about Newcastle, don't they? Maybe. They've moved it. They put it under the away section at the Leazes end. The goal Newcastle are attacking and that they've scored in. 28 minutes now. Can they get another? Trippier with the corner towards the back of the box. They're looking for Burn. He heads on, but Elborg comes and claims close to his left-hand post. Don't think it was on target.
They don't break quick, do they? They don't get bodies forward early, Sunderland.
Goalkeeper wanted to go forwards early.
They hit.
He's now put the ball on the floor, floated it out to the near side where Xhaka heads it down to Trowder. Back to Xhaka. Inside. Ooh, it's a risky ball across midfield. Gordon's got it. Elanga to the right. Anthony Gordon inside to Joe Linton. Back to Gordon. Now Ramsey. Sunderland get everybody bar Brobby behind the ball. And Ramsey to Lewis Hall. Barnes wide. Taking on here Trowder. Barnes comes in. Still going. Back to Ramsey. Joe Linton here. And Botman. Trippier up the right touchline, that's where it goes. Elanga's infield. They look for the run of Joe Linton. Trippier finds him with a ball close to the goal line, out to the corner. Joe Linton. It's won a corner kick off Hume.
Good play, isn't it? He's got nowhere to go, just protects the ball.
Regis Labris, the Sunderland manager. He made 17 signings since their promotion, temporary or permanent. Sent a couple of players, including Enzo Lefebvre. Maybe a surprise that he's not starting to warm up. As Newcastle have a corner. It's Gordon who's going to take it, isn't it? Rolls it along the goal line to Hall. And tried to flick it back to Gordon, who then goes down under a challenge in the penalty area. Referee gives nothing. Gordon stays down. Elanga wins it back. Hall on the right. He's got two blue shirts on him. He's beaten both of them, but stopped by a third. Gordon has stayed down. Newcastle are a player short. Sunderland break. Joe Linton gets his body in the way and then plays a pass to Ramsey. Gordon eventually gets up now that Newcastle have got it back. And here's Botman across to Burn. Near to the edge of their penalty area, but they have possession back. Didn't quite get that corner right. Ramsey to Voltemada, back to Ramsey, just inside Newcastle's box. Ramsdale now with a touch in the 6-yard box, drives it out to the right. Elanga gets up, just couldn't flick it on. Hume is there. Sunderland with possession, left side in front of halfway. Sadiki looking for Diarra. Burn with a header, which comes to Rigg, who's free on this near touchline, but he lets it run backwards. And they've got it about 35 yards out. Up the line by head, Trowder to Diarra. Foot on the ball inside. It comes, half an hour play. Newcastle lead 1-0. Xhaka with his left across to Alderete. And the centre half finds a little gap to roll in Siddiqui. Robbie lets it run, Rigg with a block shot, and then cleared by Lewis Hall, and Gordon chasing after this, and O'Nien has to slide in, but Ilanga's got it. He plays it forwards, but Gordon was offside. From deep, maybe Ilanga wouldn't know, but Gordon was offside.
Yeah, I said O'Nien's the one to play on. He looks a nervous wreck.
Just played it back to Elborg there under pressure. The goalkeeper is going to go out for a Newcastle throw on the near side at left back.
Oh, he looks a bundle of nerves.
Sven Botman to Jacob Ramsey, back to Botman, in one of two changes today. Botman for Chow and Voltemada for Tonali, who is not in the squad because of a groin injury. This is Ramsey to Ilanga, back to Ramsey, onto Ilanga again, closed down, Ramsey once more. Inside, Jacob Ramsey comes, playing that central role in the middle of midfield, the deeper one, the number 6. Byrne up to Barnes, could let it run, he does. Voltemada takes over, now Ilanga played in, edge of the area, Anthony Ilanga, a step over, Ilanga side netting.
Got to go across the keeper. Got to go across. It's a great little move. Dan Bourne does great. It's a great little ball into midfield. Ilanga makes a run from right to left, stands the fullback up. He's got to go across the keeper.
Doesn't have room, does he, at the near side? It has to be so precise. He's not missed the post by much, but he's hit the side netting. Newcastle still lead 1-0. Close to a second goal there. Elborg, that's too strong for Hertrauder. Hall picks the ball up. It's a throw 30 yards out. A second before half-time would it could be important, because you never know.
As long as you don't concede one.
Yeah, true. Trippier back to the goalkeeper. Newcastle went backwards with that throw. This is Botman. Miscontrolled it there. Gets it from Trippier. Plays it off Robbie. It's out to goal kick. I think Sunderland might well bring on some of their better players, their starters, the likes of Lefay, Reynaldo, maybe Mukiele. They've all been injured. They've got Isidore on the bench as well, who's got 4 goals this season, but a big player for them. Newcastle on top and with the advantage. Ramsdale, goal kick. 34th minute. O'Nien slips, Voltemada headed on. Barnes behind him. I don't know if he got a shout, but if Voltemada had left it, Barnes could have taken it on. Elborg walking the ball around his penalty box. Plays it short to O'Nien to his right. Out to Hertrauder, controls up the line, it goes to Rigg. Plays it back. Diarra on, makes a run. Brobby spins inside. It's a good turn.
Oh, he needed to go wide early. Actually didn't.
It was Siddiqui actually up the near side, Diarra in the middle, now Talby. He's played it to the edge of the area to Hume, tries to scoop it in behind. Sunderland cross it, it leaves the area. Barnes heads it down, plays it back to Hall. Newcastle have it back. Hall out to Barnes, nowhere to go really. Back to Joelinton.
Well played.
That's good awareness from Barnes and Joelinton. Over to Trippier. They found space, they've worked it well, and Ilanga to run after this one, but Alderete comes across, he had the head start. Sunderland have possession, they recover the ball, they get applauded by their supporters, and O'Nien with it. And it's now on to Siddiqui. Edge of the area, Noah Siddiqui, Byrne slides across, Siddiqui played it. Went over Byrne after he passed the ball. Deep cross, too long. And, did he keep it in, Rigg? Eventually the flag's gone up. It's a goal kick.
Delayed reaction.
Ramsdale to Trippier, up to Ilanga, takes it on his chest. He can get turned here, which he does.
Loads of space in behind.
Onto Gordon. He plays it back to Ilanga, nicks it away from Hume, but Alderete covering wins it back. Joelinton makes a challenge, then Elanga wins the ball for Trippier on halfway. Could have been a foul, but referee lets Newcastle play on. Back to Byrne. He's got space through the middle. Byrne comes forwards, out to Hall, and now Barnes on the attack. United looking for their second goal. Harvey Barnes teasing Herr Trauder. Goes wide to Hall, level with the edge of the area. Back into midfield to Ramsey and Voltemada, and now Ramsey near halfway. Over to Trippier. 37th minute. BBC Radio Newcastle. Ramsey gets it from Trippier, comes back inside. Every Sunderland player in blue behind the ball. Byrne to Barnes. Goes on the outside with a step over. Gets away from Herr Trauder, who trips him. Got away, and then that run
Good
was
feet,
stopped.
wasn't it?
Want to see him run it, the fullback, more often, Barnes.
Yeah, great feet. Tempted the full back in, and he's just dangled a leg.
Anthony Gordon scored the only goal. Anthony Elanga had a header just over. It's a great leap, and then he put one into the side netting from left side of the penalty area after a good break. I think that's it in terms of big chances, isn't it?
Yeah, there hasn't been too many big chances.
Ramsdale's made a really good save at the other end from Talby. This is Trippier with the free kick. It's in between the touchline and the penalty box, probably about 7 or 8 yards from the goal line. One Sunderland player in the wall. Kieran Trippier.
Oh, that's awful.
It's over the top of the bar.
Not too sure what he was trying to do.
If he's trying to drop it inside the far post.
He's trying to stick it right on top of the goalkeeper. Just got too much on it.
Newcastle without Bruno, Miley, Cher, Kraft, Tonali now unavailable. Sunderland got a few missing as well, including Roofs, the keeper, who would start. Ballard, the centre half. They're not in the squad. A few more out injured. This is Hall. Gordon comes across. He's made a run into space.
Oh, he's ran off O'Nien.
Anthony Gordon into the area. Xhaka slides in, puts it behind. Strong play from Xhaka, who now has a go at his teammates.
Yeah, he's having a go at O'Nien. O'Nien's just let Gordon run off him. Doesn't track him in there. That's what Xhaka's having a go at.
Kieran Trippier with this set piece. 6 minutes until half time. Newcastle attacking the Leazes end to our left. Plenty of movement. Trippier clips it in, back post. Oh, they've all missed it. They've all missed it. Goalkeeper, defenders and attackers. It remains Newcastle 1, Sunderland 0.
Wasn't convincing, was he, the goalkeeper? Oh dear. It's absolutely nowhere near it.
It just got away from Byrne. Joelinton was a couple of yards back from Byrne. If there'd been somebody coming in behind, then they might have had a header on goal. Joelinton foul on Siddiqui. Referee plays the advantage. Botman challenging for it with Brobby. Another Sunderland advantage. Could have been a foul. Rigg with a cross. Oh, it's come to Talby, edge of the area. Talby left-footed attempt, and Dan Byrne clears from in front of Ramsdale. Wasn't the most powerful shot from Talby. Brobby's a handful low.
He's a big, powerful unit, isn't he?
Signing from Ajax for 22 million in the summer. Brian Brobby. Rigg looks for Brobby, clips it in, left-footed. He nudges it down. Voltemada tries to clear. Sunderland make the block, and then a misplaced pass. O'Nien and Xhaka do just about enough to stop Gordon getting there in midfield. But Gordon stops Sunderland playing forwards. They go back, and now it's Diarra to Talby on the far touchline. They've given it straight to Jacob Ramsey. Here's Elanga. Comes back to Trippier. Now Ramsey out to Elanga, inside to Joelinton. Back towards Ramsey, trip, referee lets it go, and Gordon round the corner for Voltemada. Barnes trying to stay onside. Voltemada, Hall to the left. Nick Voltemada gives it to Hall. His cross, looking for Elanga, slid behind by Alderete. In fact, it's a throw rather than a corner.
Great break. Great break. Voltemada does great as well. Picks it up, just waits for Hall to get there.
Barnes was the option through the middle. I think he just about kept himself onside, but it's always a risk. And then Hall with another positive run up the pitch from fullback. The defender got there before Elanga could, and Newcastle continue to threaten to score a second goal. 42 minutes. A long throw maybe from Lewis Hall. Barnes was going to come short. Hall runs from the advertising board to the touchline, flicked on by Botman. Voltemada, and he couldn't get it turned towards goal. Some hopeful half-hearted appeals for a handball or something. Trippier out to Hall, tries to drive one in, it's hit the back of Diarra, and it's out for another throw. Just want the second goal before half-time if they can get it, Newcastle. Hall to Joelinton. Ball's down on the floor. He plays it to Hall. Delivers the cross. Botman's header! Off the post! Sven Botman with a header that comes crashing back off the post, and it's cleared out for a Newcastle throw on the far right-hand side. Trippier drives one in. Alderete's header. Byrne trying to bring it down. Byrne, they're saying he was pulled to the floor. He doesn't appeal. It's supporters who are screaming. Referee says wait, VAR might have a quick look. Newcastle 1, Sunderland 0. I don't think he's getting the ball. I think it's going away from him. Paul Howard is the VAR. Referee Anthony Taylor just telling Lewis Hall to wait before he takes a throw. I think he'll be told to get on with it, which he is. But Botman's so close to a second goal.
Yeah, great ball in again, wasn't it? Young Lewis Hall. And a great header.
Pharaoh Nine's got his hand on Byrne's shirt, he's pulling him, but when we saw it from this angle, I didn't think it was going to be given. Here's Elanga, inside to Gordon, back to Elanga, he can go Elanga, chipped just outside the area, yellow card for Hume. Elanga was on his way into the box after linking up well with Gordon. It's kicking off a bit in there now. Gordon getting involved, Joelinton of course, players being separated. Referee still got his yellow card out that he showed to Hume. Elanga is still down. It's a great move. Elanga does well when he comes in off the touchline and plays 1-2s, combines with his Newcastle teammates. He's done it a few times today, and that was really good. And if he'd got away from that last ditch attempt to bring him down, he'd have been into the box. It's a free kick close to the edge of the area. Yeah. And I think this is just on the edge of range for somebody.
Yeah, it's good play again. Still had a lot of work to do. I mean, there's plenty of blue shirts around, but it's Hume. Yeah, it's a yellow card, but it's obstruction, isn't it? Just obstructs him. But he was at full pace.
Numbers board is coming shortly. Just seconds remaining in the first half, the 45. Andy Madley, the fourth official, now tells us on BBC Radio Newcastle there's 2 minutes minimum additional time. Newcastle have the lead against Sunderland. At half-time, Simon Pride will be back with us to discuss the game and have a look at some of the day's other sports news. Send him a message on X at BBC Newcastle, or you can WhatsApp 08000 321 333. 08000 321 333. Just put BBC at the start. Referee didn't show any more yellow cards there. Everything calmed down pretty quickly. They're calling for Kieran Trippier over the wall, and it's to the right of centre. This could be one for Lewis Hall, but Trippier is there as well. He could whip it up and across. It's going to be Trippier or Hall. Trippier is moving the ball, now steps back from it, but Hall is there as well. Can they double their lead in first half added on time from the free kick? Trippier rolls it to Hall, and Elborg makes a comfortable save, middle of the goal. It's a disappointing effort from a player with
didn't
so
really
much
get hold of it, did he?
Elborg's throw out to this near side. Hertrauder controls it up to Rigg. It's run beyond him. Ramsey is there.
Did well, Ramsey, because he stayed with the runner, didn't he?
There's been a few performances that I've enjoyed so far, but I think Jacob Ramsey's would be up there, because as he plays a short ball back to Sven Botman, they're under pressure.
Yeah, he looks assured in there, doesn't he? He looks comfortable on the ball.
He's
just watching him, he's finding pockets of space.
Such an intelligent player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Still 1-0 to Newcastle. I'm going to get the whistle shortly, you'd think. Elanga fouled. Referee could play on a bit longer, because obviously there was maybe another 30 seconds before the free kick was taken, but he decides that that's enough for the first half, and Newcastle have the lead over Sunderland. Anthony Gordon on 10 minutes after Luke O'Nien tried to play it out from the back. Nick Voltemada intercepted on the edge of the area. Gordon took it on and buried it into the bottom corner. Elanga's had two good chances, a header just over, one into the side netting. They just had the free kick there, but they also had the Sven Botman header back off the post as they searched for a deserved second goal. 1-0 at the break, John Anderson, but they are good value for it.
Yeah, I mean, Sunderland have had their moments, there's no doubt about it. We haven't created too many clear-cut chances. Botman's header, O'Nien, I mean, gives us the goal. It's a defensive howler from him. But we've controlled the game, we've controlled the tempo of the game. We've been the better side, there's no doubt about that. And as you say, deserve to be in front.
Yeah, would that be the disappointment? I've mentioned it a few times. It's a derby, and of course you want to get into as comfortable a position as possible. I think general play is pretty. They look good when they go forwards, but it's just about having that cushion of a second goal.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sunderland haven't had too many clear-cut chances themselves. They haven't. I don't think they've had any clear-cut chances. I mean, Talby's efforts probably, when he cuts in off that left-hand side, and it's a good save by Ramsdale. You know, he's trying to bend it into that top left-hand corner. Ramsdale gets a strong hand to push it away. But they haven't created too much, you know, so it's... are we comfortable? You're never ever comfortable at 1-0, but you're as comfortable as you can be.
Yeah. So not a huge amount to be too concerned over. Second half, you would like them to just keep doing what they've been doing. It's worked well so far. Just stay at the same level.
We've been dangerous on the break. Where, you know, when the Sunderland decide to throw bodies forward, when it breaks down, they're getting caught on the break. O'Nien, the centre back's been all over the shop. You know, he looks a nervous wreck. Said beforehand about playing on him. That's exactly what's happened. That's where the goal came from. And he looks the one to play on.
Simon Pride will be here in a second at half-time on BBC Radio Newcastle. You can text him on 81333, put BBC at the start. BBC at the start on WhatsApp, and that number is 08000 321 333 for your messages about the game. We'll have a phone in at full time as well. Black and white and red and white commentary today from BBC Radio Newcastle for the Tyne Wear derby. At half-time, it's Newcastle United 1, Sunderland 0.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
Jems in Prudder is on the phone. What's your news, Jems?
I've become a matcha girly. I love and I'm obsessed with drinking matcha. It's so good for you.
Oh, is this matcha tea, this green tea?
Yes.
I've tried it once. I can't get on board.
Yeah, I'm just drinking my matcha green tea. I'm just instantly 400 times more healthy than you. My fingers are made of cucumber.
Do you know how you can always tell if someone drinks matcha tea, Jems?
How?
They tell you about it.
Matt Bailey at breakfast. Weekdays from 6. Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Newcastle.
And Matt will be back tomorrow morning, of course, fresh from his Pedalo exploits with reaction to this afternoon's game. Half-time here at St James's Park, the Tyne Wear derby. and it is Newcastle United 1, Sunderland 0. Just time for a little bit of a chat with Benno and Ando before they go and continue their debate whilst getting their half-time cup of tea. Ando first, what's your overall impression of that first half? And do you feel Newcastle are worthy of their lead?
Yeah, just about. I think we spoke about O'Nien beforehand playing a centre back. He looks like a rabbit in the headlights in there. He looks a nervous wreck. He's, the mistake that he's made. He looks flustered. He's not getting any time on the ball. Gordon's hassling him, and the goalkeeper's been fortunate a couple of times when he's wanted too much time on the ball. But the goal, from Sunderland's point of view, is a calamity. It's an absolute nightmare. He's this playing out from the back. It's something that we've spoke about before. If you're not good enough to do it, if you haven't got that quality to be able to do it, don't do it. Just go long and look to play off second balls. And they tried to play off in the back. O'Nien's made a complete mess of it. The ball ends up in the back of the net.
Benno, your thoughts on what happened for the goal?
Yeah, listen, John knows as well, again, it's taking responsibility. The goalkeeper looked very, very nervous. Yet, you can see what Sunderland want to do. We do it every single game. We try to play out from the back. And, Newcastle have got a high press, yet we continue doing it. What do Newcastle do? They don't do it. The ball goes long. And that's the experience you need. If it's not on, don't do it. But we continue doing it, and you can see that the goalkeeper is nervous, and he thinks he's going to get caught again.
Yeah, it's something that Marco Gabbiadini talked about in the week. He talked about Elberg maybe just needing a bit more time than Roofs does on the ball. You don't get it in a game like this, and he mentioned Anthony Gordon and what might happen, and that nearly happened before O'Nien's mistake, which then did lead to the goal.
But look, you look at the goalkeeper, you can tell what foot he is. He's right-footed. Yet when he gets the ball, it seems as though he takes it onto his left-hand side. He's only got one way to go, and yet he gets closed down, and he continues doing it. And again, we cannot afford to give away set pieces. We know that Newcastle are a threat. They've got quality, especially when Trippier's taking the ball. We go in at 1-0. We're thankful to go in at 1-0 because, they had an opportunity to come off the post.
Yeah, if it had gone 2-0, Ando, I think you'd have been very confident, wouldn't you?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's a great cross. Young Hall again has been superb on this left-hand side.
He's a great player,
and
isn't
he digs a great cross out. And to be fair to Botman, it's a great header as well. Meets it spot on, and he's unlucky that it comes back off the left-hand post. I mean, the keeper's nowhere near it. If that had went in, you would have said, an awful long way back for Sunderland from that stage, 2-0 down.
That said, Benno, Sunderland have had their moments at the other end, haven't they?
They've had the moments. You need to get the ball into Broby a lot quicker. He is causing them one or two problems.
Big strong boy, isn't he?
He's crying out for the ball. He needs a little bit more service. But you look at Newcastle, their biggest threat is down this left-hand side. That's where they're causing us problems.
Yes. Yeah. So Newcastle second half, they'll just carry on doing the same.
Just keep doing what they're doing. Look, I think we look at our most dangerous when Sunderland come forward and they throw bodies forward. They leave themselves a little bit open and a little bit isolated in midfield, and that break, the pace that we've got, that looks like that's going to benefit us, and we can get a bit of joy from that.
And Benno, does he make any changes at half-time, do you think? Because we've got those three players on the bench.
I think 15-20 minutes into the game, if it's still 1-0, then I think you're going to see the likes of Lefebvre coming on. I think they need somebody like him just to create some opportunities. And I said the difference between the two teams is they're two wide men. They are a threat. You look at our two wide men, we're not a threat.
Rick.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. You go and have a half-time break. Marco Gabbiadini and Harry Roy from the Total Sport team have both gone to fill their faces, not brought anything at all back for the rest of us, but we're not going to complain about that. And of course, if you'd like to have your say, we'll be taking calls after the match, so the number for that is 0800 234 6565. You can also send us a WhatsApp message, 08000 321 333. Start your message BBC, or a text message 81333 at any time. We'll read as many of those out as we can as well. So do get in touch with us this afternoon. We are going to be on air after the match until 3 o'clock. let's just round up some of the other things. It's been Derby all the way today, as you would expect, and it soon will be Derby all the way again once the second half begins. But let's just round up some of the other things that have been happening over the course of the weekend. We'll start with a game yesterday that took place in the National League. Gateshead fighting for their lives at the bottom of that division. Were away at Boreham Wood. Didn't go Gateshead's way yesterday, unfortunately. They were beaten by 3-0. This is what their manager, Rob Elliott, the former Newcastle goalkeeper, had to say afterwards.
We started so poorly and the game was done in the first 15 minutes, really. And that's the disappointing thing, is that we never give ourselves a chance. Never really got a foothold in the game. I think the last 15 minutes of the first half, we sort of started to play a bit and then got a bit of control without really hurting them. And then second half, when we went more direct, stepped on them, we looked more threatening, probably disrupted them a bit. But by that time, when you concede so early after half time, it's tough, because 2-0, you think you're in the game. 3-0, it's a different story. So you have to manage that. The lads have been on a brilliant run, and it's probably one game too many, and come up against a very good team. I think these will be my favourites in the playoffs, as and when they get there. But I'm not going to criticise these lads. They've been absolutely fantastic for us in the last 9-10 games, whatever it might have been. And it's never going to be easy. There's never going to be a case of we'll just win every game. We can't be arrogant enough to think that.
That was Rob Elliott. Still plenty of games to come for Gateshead. Still every chance of completing an escape from the relegation zone in the National League. They were bottom at one point, but they've recovered a bit. But wasn't their day yesterday. Message just come in from an anonymous Sunderland fan who says, baffling how Regis Lebris thinks that Luke O'Nien is anywhere near Premier League standard. He's cost us a goal and he's constantly holding and grappling Dan Burn in the area. Need to get a shot of him now. I don't know if that means substituting at half time or what, but not happy with Luke O'Nien, this particular Sunderland fan. Keep those messages coming in. On Friday evening, the Total Sports Show came live from South Shields. It was great to be there. We had a mixture of Newcastle and Sunderland fans looking ahead to today, looking ahead to the derby. We also chatted about what's going on at the National League North side, battling for promotion to the National League North in second place, but they've closed the gap at the top because Fylde lost yesterday. But South Shields themselves, they had an excellent win over the third place team, Merthyr Town. They won 4-1. Here is their assistant boss, Carl Magnay.
We showed a lot of patience and maturity in our shape at times. It wasn't the usual, get after them, try and high press. Sometimes you've got to respect opposition. Merthyr challenge you tactically, and I think we fell victim of that at times down at their place. So they're a very good side, so we changed the system, and the maturity of the lads to sort of know when to go, when to be patient was really, really good. And then of course in possession, we used our structure and our shape really well, at times really clean and precise with our passing, and then that opened up a lot of spaces to go and attack. And I thought the first half in particular was superb. We probably could have had more goals than we did.
Yeah, four goals, 3 goal scorers. How did you see them?
Yeah, well, Blatty's got his 2 goals, classic Blatty goals, patterns and sort of finishes that we want to see and what we work on. So great deliveries, and he's unbelievable in the box, isn't he, in terms of his dart and runs and the timing to arrive onto things. Sonny's is just an amazing individual effort where he drives and carries the ball, and then he manages to get through 3 players, I think, towards the edge of their box, and the finish is really composed. And then I was really pleased for Ollie Bainbridge. I thought that was a fantastic goal. Sonny puts a great ball in, and Ollie's energy to make up the ground to get in the box from that wing back position was outstanding. I think his performance deserved that goal.
Carl Magnay speaking after a good win for his team yesterday. It was good to have him on the show on Friday night as well. In the Northern Premier League Premier Division yesterday, good win for Morpeth away at Bamber Bridge. 2-0 they won. Hebburn Town drew 0-0 at home to Prescott Cables. And in the East Division, Ashington drew 0-0 with Pontefract Collieries. Blythe Town were 2-0 winners at home to Grimsby and Blythe Spartans won on the road as well, 3-1 at Brighouse Town. 1-1 between Dunstan and Garforth Town. Heaton Stand beat Matlock Town by a goal to 0. And Concert got a point on the road at North Ferriby. And in the Scottish Lowland League, Linlithgow Rose 2, Berwick Rangers 0. Least said about that, the better. Durham's women are in action this afternoon. They're playing Southampton in WSL 2. That was also a midday kick-off, goalless in that match. Later, Portsmouth against Sunderland and Newcastle versus Crystal Palace. So that's the football rounded up. Newcastle leading by a goal to 0 here at St James's Park in the Tyne Wear derby. The second half coming up very shortly, but we've got time to bring you a little bit of rugby Union before that. The Newcastle Red Bulls were in action yesterday. We had commentary of that one with Dean Gray. They were away at the Northampton Saints, who are top of Rugby Union's Prem, so it looked like it was only going to go one way ahead of the match, but actually it was a lot closer than people would have expected, with the Red Bulls being beaten in the end by only a single point. 28-27 was the score. Actually, we won't bring you the reaction from Stephen Jones right now. We'll bring you some of that on Monday evening on Total Sport tomorrow evening, because the Sunderland players are already coming out for the second half. We want to make sure that you do not miss a single kick. So the second half coming up from St James's Park, and don't forget plenty of time for reaction afterwards as well. Second half coming up in just a tick.
Half-time highlights.
Total Sport Northeast.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Elbow going to O'Nien for a quick word. Then he plays it short to Luke O'Nien, who has a touch. Oh, he's given it straight to Baltimore. Here's Anthony Gordon. Gordon's to score. Yes! Anthony Gordon has given Newcastle the lead on Derby Day. And it was Luke O'Nien who gave it away to Nick Baltimore, who rolled it forwards to Gordon. And he punished Sunderland and has put Newcastle United into an early lead. Newcastle United 1, Sunderland 0 after 10 minutes at St James's Park.
Total Sport Northeast.
Matthew Raisbeck and black and white legend John Anderson.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
And here comes the second 45. Newcastle United will kick off, shooting down the hill to the right to the Gallagher end. No changes, although Sunderland have had some of their subs doing a lot of work on the pitch. Jacob Ramsey kicks towards the corner on the far side, but it's gone behind for a goal kick. Didn't get the angle right there. Trying to get Newcastle up the field. It's a Sunderland goal kick, although maybe a short goal kick would suit United after some of the problems Sunderland had in the first half. It's 1-0, that was the only goal, and you're listening to the Newcastle perspective on BBC Radio Newcastle. If you want Sunderland coverage, DAB and Freeview channel 711. Here's Joe Linton in midfield looking for Ramsey. Voltemada tries to play it back to Ramsey. Sunderland have won it, and United without the ball at the moment. And Talby onto this left wing for Sunderland, back to Hume, and Diarra edge of the area. He's found Hertrauder just inside the box. This could be dangerous. Hertrauder comes back, squares it to Siddiqui left side, close to the area. Now Xhaka, and Sunderland still attacking up the right wing at the moment with Habib Diarra. And there's a deep cross. It's not a bad one. Brobby heads it back over. There's nobody in the middle coming for it, and Jacob Ramsey has to stick it out of play on the far side. The header back across was good, but they didn't have anybody.
No, had nobody coming in back stick. Header back across, goal as you say was decent.
So long throw for Sunderland. Luke O'Nien. 25-30 yards out right hand side, angles it towards the 6-yard box. Burns header, and it's going to go out again. It's going to be another Sunderland throw. This one's right next to the corner flag. 1-0 Newcastle.
Keep sticking it on Dan Burns' head, didn't he?
O'Nien is ready. Sunderland in blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks. Near post. That one's headed away again by United. Xhaka back out wide. That's a good ball. O'Nien trying to take on Voltemada and deliver a cross. He's had to turn and come back. Now he's clipped one in with his left. And Botman with that header clear. Black and white stripes, black shorts, black socks for United. Hertrauder away from Gordon. Ramsey slips. Hertrauder rolls it to O'Nien, right wing. Low ball fired in. Byrne slides it away, and Voltemada stops it from going for a corner. And then wins a goal kick after trying to turn his man. Jacob Murphy's gone up to warm up and is calling out some instructions from the near touchline. Newcastle, Ramsdale in goal, Trippier, Botman, Byrne, Hall, Joelinton, Ramsey, Voltemada, Elanga, Barnes and Gordon. Sunderland, Elborg, Hertrauder, O'Nien, Alderete and Hume, who's been yellow carded. Xhaka, Siddiqui, Diarra, Rigg, Talby, Brobby. Ramsdale up the pitch. And Nyan's header to Xhaka, back to Alderete, takes a touch, Gordon with him, good turn inside. And a left-footed ball, trying to get it in behind Lewis Hall for Chris Rigg. Hall on his chest, watched it well, took it down well. Diarra has slipped and slid in and won the ball back actually for Sunderland. And now Sadiki tries to come across midfield. Ramsey with a good pinch. Sunderland have a player down, Newcastle go on. And Elanga to the right, Barnes to the left. Ramsey still got it, tries to thread it through for Barnes. Gordon takes it, then moves it on to Harvey Barnes. Looks for Gordon with a return ball. Xhaka back to the goalkeeper, whose clearance is not good. It's out for a throw though. The referee will stop the game. Did you think that was a foul?
No.
By Ramsey?
No. Just won the ball. But players lose the ball now when it gets taken off them. They all do this.
There's
nothing wrong with him. He's all right.
Sadiki gets back up. The midfielder signed from Union Saint-Gilloise. Remember them? Newcastle Champions League opponents. And Sadiki moved to the Premier League. And he's had a good season by all accounts. To be fair, he's not complaining or appealing. Didn't make the most of the break though again.
No. Just that final ball let us down again, didn't it?
Trippier throws it back into the Newcastle half. Botman over to Byrne. Up towards Voltemada, tries to help it on to Barnes, has gone out. On the bench, Pope, Wissa, Chow, Osula, Livramento, Jacob Murphy, Willock, Alex Murphy, Neve. Sunderland bench, Moore the goalkeeper, Reynildo, Sirkin, Mukiele, Lefay, Harrison Jones, Jensen Jones, Mayenda and Isidore. Alderete to Hume, up towards Brobby. There's a challenge on Botman, who has stayed down, he's holding his face. Newcastle had the ball back, referee has stopped the game. Botman's flat on his back, hands across his eyes and forehead. They need some treatment for Sven Botman. The doctor and the physio come sprinting on. Don't know if it was the boot maybe, as Brobby was sticking his leg out. That may have caught Botman, who was trying to head it. We've got a pause here, 51 minutes on BBC Radio Newcastle. Sunderland having a bit of possession at the start of the second half. One good ball into the area. Anthony Elanga has come across to speak to Jason Tindall. Kieran Trippier's trying to alert the bench to something. Hall and Barnes are having a conversation on the far side. Don't know whether there is a cut for Sven Botman. Clearly seems to be a head injury. Malik Chow's warming up. Botman, who could have extended Newcastle's lead when he hit the post with a header in the first half. Getting some proper treatment. Sunderland fans making some noise, so now they're going to get drowned out. The black and whites. Chow continues to warm up. Now Jason Tindall puts his arm around Kieran Trippier and they have a discussion, some tactical stuff that they're sorting out. Anthony Gordon is with Eddie Howe. They might have to make a change here. They were calling for Malik Chow. Yeah, he's coming on. It could be concussion, couldn't it, for Sven Botman? He looks rather groggy. It was the boot to the head, wasn't it? The forehead from Brobby.
Yeah, Brobby just got, looks like it caught him on the temple. No intent in it.
Brian Brobby in the Dutch squad. Sven Botman is not. To follow head injury protocols here, and there's going to be a change. Malik Chow is ready to come on, having been left out for Botman today. They're going to be able to get him off, to take him off. He's going to walk off rather than needing a stretcher. And here comes Malik Chow. Newcastle having to make a change. Botman applauded off. Newcastle 1, Sunderland 0. This will add about 3 minutes onto the game. Real shame for Botman for his afternoon to end like that.
Yeah, looks groggy, doesn't he?
Malik Chow is on next to Dan Burn. Referee needs a word with the fourth official, and he's talking to Régis Lebris and the Sunderland staff. Lucia Elhead-Trowder's there as well. I have no idea what this is about. There's a few Sunderland players who are there. There's players from both teams are talking to each other in the middle of the pitch.
Now he's talking to
relatively mild-mannered
Tyndall and Howe.
I'm not aware of any problems in the stands. Are you? Sometimes that attracts attention. Referee's now calling for somebody else, calling for the television floor manager. Maybe there is some sort of problem over on the far side. We haven't been told what's going on, so we can't tell you anything. Referee spoken to a member of Newcastle security staff and the TV floor manager. It appears we're being told by our studio that there is an accusation of something racist having been directed towards Lucia Elhead-Trowder, the Sunderland right back. That's something that will have to be dealt with. That's all we can tell you about it at the moment. Something that has no place anywhere. The match can restart here on BBC Radio Newcastle with United leading 1-0. Ramsdale towards the edge of the area. It's Elhead-Trowder away. Hall with a little header. Now Gordon into the box. Barnes trying to bring this down, which he does, and looking to turn and roll his man. And Newcastle still with it, but they've committed a foul as Diarra gets back and just gets in the way between man and ball.
Yeah, you could see it from here, couldn't you?
In the penalty area for Sunderland, who've won 3 away games at Forest, Chelsea and Leeds, but they've only scored 8 times in 15.5 Premier League away matches. Sunderland.
Yeah, they don't score a great deal of goals, do they?
Robbie heads on. Talby takes it down on his thigh, edge of the area. And this is Rigg on the outside. Rigg saved by Ramsdale behind for a corner. Down low at his near post. Robbie beating Chow in the air, and Talby, the runner behind, set up Rigg.
Yeah, it's a save you'd expect him to make near post. Strong hands on it.
This is why Newcastle need a second goal. Sunderland have had more of the attacking play in the second half. We're in the 57th minute, but a long stoppage for the Botman head injury and the substitution. The corner from the right, Xhaka with his left, whipped in. Ramsdale claws it away, and then on the line, put in by Talby. Sunderland are level. If you don't score a second goal, this is what can happen. And Ramsdale got the corner away. Sunderland fired it back in, and Shamsdeen Talby on the turn put it into the back of the net. Newcastle United 1, Sunderland 1.
Well, they've started the second half brightly, haven't they, Sunderland? They've had the better of it. Corner kick comes in, it's half cleared. They recycle it back in, falls for Talby, hits it into the ground, ball ends up in the back of the net.
Talby, the scorer, he was going wide off Hume, and the header was blocked on the line, but the rebound fell to Talby about 4 yards out. Couldn't miss. And they've got to get it going again, Newcastle. Well on top in the first half, but Sunderland have been better since the restart. And now the derby is all square again. Ramsdale, long. Burns header, Hall helping it on. Elhead-Trowder volleys it clear. Chow's coming onto this, plants a header on the ball. Barnes tries to get up, Elhead-Trowder beats him to it. Joelinton comes to challenge in midfield. Referee's given a free kick away to Sunderland for handball, yeah. Talby scored at Chelsea, Liverpool and now Newcastle this season. Big away goals. He's Also scored against Burnley at home. Newcastle send Joe Willock to warm up. And a free kick next to the centre circle.
Well, Willock's going to come on.
They are going to take now as they look for O'Nien in the box. Chow with the header, and there's a foul on Malik Chow. Free kick for Newcastle. Joelinton to Byrne, but the referee's not happy with the free kick. It was from the wrong place. Ramsdale over to Dan Byrne. Hall just a few yards up ahead of him on the line. Back to Byrne. Now it goes. Barnes tries to climb, but Hertrauda beats him in the air. Ramsey comes to win it. This is Baltamada, fouled. He might be the player going off, Nick Baltamada. I think he's done okay, but obviously Willett will give Newcastle a lot more energy in midfield. Could take a wide player off, maybe. Trippier looking for Elanga in behind. Elanga takes it, tried to then lift it around Hume. It hit the defender on the back. Sunderland clear it, and it's gone out of Joelinton. Newcastle have scored 89 goals this season. This is their 51st game. They have conceded 76 goals in all competitions. It's too many. Given away by Sunderland. Elanga looking for Barnes, but he's given it away to Hertrauda. Into Brobby. One back by Joelinton. Sunderland give it away to Gordon. Now Anthony Gordon surrounded by blue shirts and dispossessed by Diarra. Back to Elborg. And over to this near side where Joelinton heads it, keeps it in. Elanga fouled, brought it under control and then got pushed over.
Yeah, we haven't started again, have we? Second half.
Not quite as not a collapse like in Barcelona, but a bad start to the second half. Joe Willock is going to come on, but it may be after the free kick has been taken. 1-1. And we've played an hour. Jacob Murphy's also coming on. Double change. Sunderland have a player on the deck. And Trippier and Hall next to the free kick, good 35 yards out. It's Trippier who curls it in. Sunderland head it out to the right, and Hume is there. Up the line it goes. Trippier's covering, he comes across, plays it back to Ramsdale. Hall to the right. Ramsdale to the feet of Lewis Hall. He's got Brobby closing him down. Hall, he's played it into midfield, straight to a blue shirt. Played it blind, really. Had to get it away. Diarra to Brobby, edge of the area. Now Newcastle get back, everybody bar Gordon is back, he's making his way back now. Xhaka with a deflected shot onto the roof of the net. The Sunderland fans thought it was in. Blimey, that was close, the net bulged, but the ball landed on the top of the netting. Thankfully it's a corner. Big
yeah, it's
deflection.
a long way out, isn't he? Hits it, I think it deflects off Jacob Ramsey, comes off his back, spirals up in the air. Ramsdale's backpedaling, he's not too sure where it's going. Fortunately for him, fortunately for us, it ends up in the top of the net.
They had a strong first half, but this is a difficult period in the match. Sunderland have equalised, and they threatened to score a second goal there. Newcastle not really offered anything in attack in 18 second half minutes. They could take a short corner here, which they do. Xhaka to Rigg, back again. Xhaka's ball in, Byrne heads away, he's right in front of Ramsdale. It's come here for Barnes, who heads it up. Gordon then tries to win a header. Sunderland get it back, Ramsey makes a challenge. Aldereti's come away with it. They force him away from goal, Ramsey's won it. Tried the through ball for Gordon. Baltamada then played it, and Gordon was looking away because he didn't get the first ball. If he'd kept going, he might have got the second one from Baltamada. That's why there were groans. Burns header. Baltimore in the middle of midfield. Elanga an option. Gets it. Man at his back. Elanga rolls it to Trippier on halfway. Willock and Murphy still waiting to come on. Newcastle slow it down and go back to Chow. And now Burn. BBC Radio Newcastle. Livramento and Osula warming up as well. This is Ramsey. From Barnes' pass back to Barnes and Hall on halfway. Far left hand side. Chow over to Trippier on this near touchline, up to Elanga, who'd gone long, and Trippier went short with the pass. Chow intercepts for Ramsey. They've got it back. Here's Baltimore stretching back to Hall, and now Harvey Barnes. Hall on the outside. Barnes has been tackled by Rigg, and it's gone for a throw.
Yeah, good tackle.
And here are the changes. Elanga off and Murphy on. Livramento's coming on as well. Baltimore leaving the pitch, replaced by Willock, who claimed the assist for the Gordon goal that put Newcastle ahead. Nick Baltimore winning the ball back following a Sunderland pass from the back. Livramento for Trippier is the other change. Dan Burn will get the captain's armband. They can make, well, I think they can make 2 more substitutions, because Botman will be a concussion sub. Getting close to the midway point in the second half. Newcastle 3 changes, like for like changes. You want to see a real uplift now, don't you, in the performance, John Anderson?
Yeah, we haven't come out second half. We've been sloppy. Sunderland have been the better side in this second half.
Here's Dan Burn. He's gone for the diagonal, looking for Livramento. It comes onto his right boot, prods it up the line for Murphy. He gets turned, looks for Livramento again, blocked by Talby. Murphy's won it back and tried to cross, but it's flicked away by Xhaka. Burn is onto it first. Ramsey takes it off him. Centre of Sunderland's half. Now for Joelinton. To the feet of Gordon. It's come from Murphy, away from Talby. Murphy's gone for goal, and Elborg has flapped at it a bit, and it's gone behind off the goalkeeper.
Wasn't great goalkeeping, was it? He looks a nervous wreck as well, the goalkeeper. Oh no, that's not good goalkeeping. Straight at him.
Well, they don't have anybody to take the corner. Trippier is off. Gordon's going to go across to take it. He delivered one earlier in the game. Murphy was prepared to do it. It's on the left side. They've rolled it along the goal line to Ramsey. Now back to Barnes and out to Gordon. And back to Barnes again. And this is Livramento. Gets away from his man. Livramento low shot. It's hit O'Nien, and Elborg prevents the corner. He made a right mess of that.
Yeah, it wasn't a great corner, was it? Don't understand that, you know. You've got such a huge height advantage. Just stick it in there.
Goalkeeper Elborg has it again, looking for Brobby. Chow's beaten him in the air. Joe Willock into the action on halfway, gets turned. Murphy going up the line. Willock to the feet of Murphy. Hume with him. Murphy delivers a cross. Barnes going for it. Yeah. Foul by Barnes on O'Nien, who went flying. Delivery from Murphy wasn't bad. Into a good area. Free kick for Sunderland though. 1-1 the score.
Just pushes him over, doesn't he?
'68th minute. Exactly midway through the second half on BBC Radio Newcastle. If you're looking for the Sunderland angle, it's on Freeview channel 711 and BBC Radio Newcastle on DAB. Elborg slips. Joelinton chests it down and scoops it out to Hall. Up the line to Barnes, dispossessed by Head Trowder. He's done well against him in the second half, Head Trowder, and he's wanting a return ball. He's got it on the touchline. Lifts it in. Chow lifts up and heads away. Hall looking for Barnes, who's too slow. Xhaka's beaten him to it. Diarra for Sunderland. And now Head Trowder with a clipped cross near post. That's Chow. It's Siddiqui. And it's a big save by Ramsdale to beat it out. And Lewis Hall brings it away and wins a free kick.
What a chance. Hits it straight at the keeper.
Home supporters getting restless. They have been for a while, to be honest. William Osula's warming up. Newcastle are not at it in the second half. They were in the first, but not in the second. Livramento's running behind, but he's offside. They've gone short to Murphy. Here's Gordon. Back to Joelinton. Now on to Ramsey. This is decent. Willock. Space and options to the left. One of them is Hall, who gets it. Takes a touch, lifts it in. Hume's header. It's going to come out for a throw near the corner flag.
Better. That's better.
Livramento to take it. Osula comes back to the bench. Tino Livramento's ball in near post. Burns taking a tumble. Referee waves away the appeals. Barnes hits one. It's deflected. Oh, just wide. Corner kick. Barnes hit one against the Sunderland player. Elborg was scrambling and it trickled just past the post.
Oh. Keeper's a relieved man because it takes a huge deflection. Hits it into the ground. There had to be more spin on that. That's nestling in the bottom corner.
Lewis Hall to take the corner kick. 70 minutes exactly. 1-1 in the derby. It's not been a good second half from Newcastle, but they could go back in front from this. Hall left-footed from the right. It's gone up and it's landing on the roof of the net. Goal kick is given though, despite strong Newcastle appeals.
Oh, the keeper's all over. I mean, he just punches that straight up in the air, doesn't he?
Did he help it over the crossbar? It went up off Byrne. May have hit the goalkeeper first time. Difficult to tell. Referee was closer. Goal kick. Sunderland up to halfway. Alderete. Robbie trying to run in behind. Chow with him. And Newcastle have it back. Ramsdale comes and picks it up. Rolled out to Ramsey. He's got a man on. Ramsey to Hall. And Willock on the left. Joe Willock, can he go up the touchline? He's running out of play.
Oh dear.
William Osula is coming on. We'll look to him for another massive moment. This is Hume for Sunderland, over to O'Nien, away from Barnes, and here Trowder up the line. They've got a man free, it's Rigg. It's away from Willock, Chris Rigg into the area, looking for Brobby, holding it up. Brobby trying to turn, big block by Chow, and Willock heads it, it's stayed in. Hall clears, straight to head Trowder, 20 yards out. He's gone for the cross, Livramento flicks it behind, taking no chances.
Well, see Wayside asking all the questions, that's for sure.
I enjoyed the first half. Second half has been really difficult to watch. Sunderland got their equaliser from Talby. And Ramsdale has been busier than Elborg. Got a corner kick to defend Newcastle. They cannot go behind. 73rd minute. It's deep to the back of the box. Joelinton flicks it away. Sunderland have got the second ball. Xhaka back to head Trowder. Barnes gets out to him. And Trowder's got it on his left. Rolls the pass to Hume. Delivers a cross. Volleyed clear by Willock. Gordon chases. Elborg's come a long way. Gets the ball on the floor. Plays it to Siddiqui, the midfielder, who dropped in. Then he's gone long. That'll go through to Ramsdale. No danger there. Lewis Hall. Up to halfway. Ramsey in a wide position. Joelinton on the halfway line. Murphy gets it in the centre. Back to Joelinton. Drags it back, turns away from Talby. Then comes forwards. Powerful from Joelinton. Gordon on the turn. Gives it to Willock wide left. Nobody in the box. Willock. Nobody was sprinting to get in the middle. This is Ramsey away from his man. Still got it. Murphy. Livramento free. Wide. Joelinton edge of the area. Now Livramento taking on Hume. Livramento goes for the goal line. Wins a corner.
Did well. Let's see if we can make a set piece count, as Osula still waits to come on.
They just need a moment, Newcastle. 16 minutes of normal time to play. 1-1. Hall's corner. It's a packed 6-yard box. He's lifted it in.
Yes!
A goal has been scored by Malik Chow. Chow at the near post for Newcastle United, who go back in front in the derby. However,
no goal.
The referee has given a free kick to Sunderland. It's been disallowed. Sunderland seem to have been awarded a free kick. I'm not sure what for. Chow went off celebrating. Sunderland have tried to restart the game. Absolutely no idea what that's for. Newcastle come back and they surround the referee. Could it be handball? I don't know. We haven't seen it again. Went in at the near post. What happened?
I've no idea. I haven't got a clue. Is it offside maybe? Is there a player offside in there? Oh, it could have been. Yeah, offside.
In front of the goalkeeper to stop him from getting it. Offside player. Offside. Or maybe a foul anyway. So it doesn't count. Harvey Barnes is going off for William Osula to come on. Jacob Murphy with the foul. Newcastle thought they were back in front, but they're not. It's still 1-1. Yeah, maybe it's not the offside. I think he stopped. He was right in front of the goalkeeper, who couldn't make the save because of that. But so frustrating. Huge differences between the first and second half in this match. Still one apiece. Elborg out of play, near side. Let's hope that can, at least the fact they created a goal, albeit scored via a foul. Chow has his moment taken away from him. Let's hope that that can give them a lift. They can do it. They need one that counts. Osula is centre forward. Gordon is left wing. They're looking to drop it in behind head. Trouder for Gordon. The defenders won the ball, but Gordon's got it next. And Hall towards Willock. Sunderland win it back. Up to Brobby near the centre circle. He holds it up, turns, moves it to his left to Hume. And now to the feet of Talby, who got the equaliser. Taking on Livramento, running at him. Livramento wins the ball. Now needs somewhere to go with it. He's got Chow just inside. Malik Chow gets it clear. It's gone out for a throw. Eddie Howe's given Anthony Gordon some instructions over on the far side. Newcastle defending. It's probably going to be another Luke O'Nien long throw. 78th minute now on BBC Radio Newcastle. Phone in to follow. Call us now on 0800 234 6565. O'Nien, near post area. Burns header. Osula on his chest. Now, can he do something with it? Tries to turn. Gives it to Livramento. Out at right back. It's off Hume and away for a Newcastle throw. Didn't really have runners. Gordon was getting up the pitch on the far side, but Osula just took his time and kept possession. When does it get to must not lose, Ando? Or is that negative?
It's been a strange second half. You know, first half was decent. Second half, yes, we've had the goal disallowed, but we've been second best in a lot of the areas of this game second half.
Dan Burn got room to bring it forwards. Now in behind, Osula trying to get away from O'Nien, who's brought it down well and then headed it. Willock's trying to get there. Sunderland back pass. It's gone. Just kept in, says the assistant referee. Almost went for a corner. Livramento on the right wing to Joelinton. Now Gordon back to Joelinton. Goes for the strike. It's blocked. Sunderland there win it in the penalty area and clear it through Rigg. Ramsdale's got it now. Newcastle United in possession, 1-1, trying to get back in front. Could win 3 Premier League matches in a row for only the second time this season. Livramento here, skips in away from the touchline. It's played in against Xhaka. They've lost the ball, Newcastle, in their own half. Xhaka straight to Joelinton, then on to Willock. Now Joe Willock with Gordon to the left. Willock's ball is decent. Gordon edge of the area. Anthony Gordon, oh no, he's put it over the top. Gordon cut inside, it opened up, and he knows it's a bad miss. He put his hands across his face, bowed his head.
That's a big chance.
Might have been well placed to go 2-1 up there. Anthony Gordon over the top, disappointing.
Leaning back, isn't he? Always leaning back.
Just over 10 minutes of normal time left to play. 1-1 on BBC Radio Newcastle. Alderete to Elborg. Goalkeeper through the middle, looking for Brobby. Burn with him. Brobby's header goes to Rigg. In behind, Ramsdale. Good starting position. Quick off the mark, puts it out near to halfway, far side. Been a little bit better, had a bit more in the attacking third in the last 5 minutes or so, but including the disallowed goal. Burn with a big clearance, following the throw. Elborg chests it just outside the penalty box. Alderete is there. Where does he go? Up the middle. Oh, it's a good ball actually, bit of disguise on it. Hume looking for Rigg, who chases after the ball. Lewis Hall with him. Rigg keeps it in on the line near the corner. Sunderland's right, then chips in across. Brobby has brought it down and played it to her. Trowder. Oh, need to get it clear. Murphy and Chow just about edge of the area. 2 Sunderland players go for the same ball. Xhaka and Rigg. Now Trey Hume blocked by Jacob Murphy. Joelinton's header. Osula here. Osula fouled as he took it away from Alderete near the centre circle. Yellow card. Oh, if he'd got after that, Osula with his pace, he would have been in behind.
Oh, nervous moments at the back. He's just taken him out, hasn't he?
It's still 1-1. Johan Wissa's gone to warm up. They could still bring him on, I think, because the Botman change would have been concussion sub, so to make an extra substitution. Omar Alderete in the referee's book. They'll move up to 9th if they win, Newcastle, having gone down to 11th yesterday. They'd only be 4 points from the top 5 if they beat Sunderland, but they need a goal. It's 1-1. Ramsdale to the edge of the area. Burn helps on. It's dropping. Chow's there. That's a foul. Chow, as he tried to shoot, has ended up connecting with O'Nien. Always going to be a free kick. Sunderland going to make it's their first change, isn't it? Enzo Lefebvre, the Frenchman, fan favourite. Busy attacking midfielder, small in height, but good on the ball. Low centre of gravity. Burn plants a big header on it. Might have hurt himself. Lewis Hall away. Osula chasing. O'Nien volleys it forwards. Burn is back up and beats Brobby in the air. It's there to be one in midfield. Willock. Sunderland win it back. Willock then makes a block. Goes after the ball. Willock heads it back to Murphy. Newcastle can't keep possession. Talby on, Chow wins a header. Joe Linton's on it here. Tries to bring it down for Chow, but he's been dispossessed. Had a simple pass on. Brobby in the area. Still Brian Brobby, laid off to Diarra. Sunderland shoot, blocked. Osula back here in defence, clears it. Straight back to a blue shirt on halfway. And now Talby's got space. Talby goes for goal and misses the target by some distance.
Yeah, long way wide, wasn't it?
Habib Diarra is going off. Newcastle have taken a quick goal kick, but the referee says substitution first, so they'll have to do it again. Diarra off, Lefay on. 1-1 in the 84th minute. Makes his way across. There'll be a fair bit of time added on. Obviously the Botman head injury took a good 3 minutes to deal with and make sure that he had the necessary treatment and to take him off the pitch. This could be tense. It's 1-1. Ramsdale slips as he takes his goal kick. Osula leaps towards the ball. Alderete's got it, then Osula's won it back, and he's got away. Osula, this is promising. William Osula on towards Willock in the area. Willock, Gordon behind him. Anthony Gordon's got it here, sidesteps his man. Gordon over the top again. Gordon's got into a good position, a position that he scored goals from before, but the finish on each occasion has been less than a player of his quality would expect. And it remains one apiece.
We see him do that so often, though, get in those positions. That's the difference with him and Barnes. When Barnes cuts in from that left-hand side, 9 times out of 10 he hits a target.
Gordon's put both of them high. Goal kick for Sunderland. A long wait for a Derby win could continue. Here's Chow. He's done well to win the ball. And Lewis Hall still full of energy and running. Anthony Gordon left wing. Hall goes beyond. Gordon taking on head. Trowder step over on the outside. Crosses. O'Nien heads away. It's gone for a throw. Quickly taken. Ramsey to Hall. Looks for a return pass. They've lost possession. Sunderland clear it. It's another Newcastle throw. It's a Sunderland throw.
Must have came off a Newcastle short last. No complaints.
87th minute. This will just help them wind the clock down, won't it? Eddie House having a word with the fourth official. Dan Byrne trying to win the ball from Brobby. Sunderland now with Sadiki running in behind up towards the corner. He's got a couple of players making their way into the middle. Whatever they do, do not lose it late. Rigg slipped under his foot and taken him back away from goal. O'Nien here, over to Alderete. Through the legs of Murphy. This is Hume. Willock makes a challenge. No foul. Goal kick. Johan Wissa's coming on. What a time this would be for Wissa to score. Eddie just brought him back from the touchline. Got him ready. And now they've taken him back to the bench. One apiece. Newcastle on top in the first half. They had other chances, including Botman off the post. Hasn't been a good second half. They have had opportunities and a disallowed goal though, but Sunderland got level through Talby after Gordon had United ahead at half-time. Joe Linton using his strength, and Newcastle then lose the ball though in midfield, and Talby played in wide left, goes for the outside. Livramento concedes a corner, blocking the cross. Wissa is still waiting, but we're now in the 88th minute. They brought Osula back to defend. No quick break there. Willock on the edge of the area, and Lefay, the substitute, is it Lefay? It's Hume, actually, sorry. Can't quite see the number. Lefay's in the middle. Here's the Sunderland corner kick, right-footed from the left to the back post, free kick, Newcastle United.
Many free kicks have been given away from corner kicks.
On comes Johan Wissa for Anthony Gordon. Gordon goes off on the far side. If Johan Wissa could go and nick a late winner after a tough start, does have 3 goals. One in the League Cup, one in the Premier League, one in the Champions League, then he would be a hero, and it would be a huge lift for him. But most importantly, it could give Newcastle the Derby Day victory. Osula's gone left wing. He's just been beaten in the air. Sunderland play it back to head Trowder. Plenty of running still in this at this late stage. Lefay plays it back to Rigg on halfway, and Wissa chasing. Sunderland play it around at the back. Xhaka over to Talby. They're applauded by their coaching staff. They've moved it well. 40 seconds of normal time to go. Chow, good sliding challenge. Willock onto Murphy. Newcastle looking to get forwards. Inside to Willock on halfway. Man on. Willock to switch pass straight to head Trowder. Diagonal ball across the pitch, straight back to Sunderland. Now they find Siddiqui in between the lines. Siddiqui, and it's just ahead of Lefay, but he's got it in the penalty area. Lefay. Oh, there's a chance and they've scored! Absolutely unbelievable. Brobby in the final minute. Sunderland, the 90th minute, have scored after Newcastle gave it away with a crossfield ball. They've turned it around and lead by 2-1, and it's an absolute derby disaster at St James's Park. A game that they could have had won by half-time. It now looks like they're going to lose again, and Sunderland, who've had a few 2-1s here, celebrates what could be the winning goal. Brobby's going to be booked for taking his shirt off. It's been a handful, but he's not had a goal-scoring chance up until now. There are 7 minutes on the numbers board. We're in the first of those. It's Newcastle United 1, Sunderland 2.
You have to say that the second half performance probably deserves that. They've been the better side. They've had more intensity about them. But yet again, our defending leaves a lot to be desired.
Well, a full minute has gone, and Newcastle yet to kick off. Sunderland making their way back slowly. A smoke bomb has been set off in the away end, and there's going to be plenty of crowing from the red and whites. Now they're claiming they have a player down with cramp. Robbie is delaying the restart. Sunderland.
Joe Linton's been booked.
Going to make a couple of changes. Reynildo, the left back, and Elysia Mayenda will be coming on. Forward player, help to run the clock down. Goal came about because Newcastle were trying to break, and it was a poor ball across the pitch.
Yeah, Willock's tried to switch play, gives it away. To break down that right side. Broby coming off. Mayenda coming on.
The clock says 92 minutes, 8 seconds. We haven't played any football since the ball went in the net from Broby. Talby is off as well for Reynildo. Mayenda on for Broby. The second half has been absolutely shocking, it really has. Nowhere near good enough, nowhere near as good as the first half, which was pretty good. They're looking long for Osula. Sunderland now have something to hold on to properly, a lead to hold on to for the first time. Osula with a header on. Willock trying to find Osula edge of the area, but it's cleared. Dan Burn flicks it back to Malik Chow. And they could be playing for quite some time here. Maybe up to 100 minutes. Now they've tried to take the free kick, and Siddiqui has delayed the restart for a foul on Osula, and Siddiqui gets a yellow card next to the centre circle. This free kick. Joe Linton to Livramento. In it goes. They'll get that away, and they do. Jacob Murphy beats Reynildo to the ball. Murphy takes it back. And there's a pass over to Lewis Hall, slightly behind him, but he's got it. Ramsey just inside. Joe Linton across midfield, but he's the furthest player back in the centre circle. On to Livramento, who has to stretch but controls. Comes into the centre, beats one, gets tripped. Trowder gets booked. Sunderland lead 2-1. We've played just over a minute of football since it restarted. There is still plenty of time to level it up. Had a goal disallowed for a foul on the keeper, preventing him from making a save when Malik Chow's header went in. And they've conceded Newcastle twice in this second half, and they trail 2-1. Lewis Hall with a free kick. It's 30 yards out. He might have a crack. Elbow's off his line. Hall does have a go, deflected and pushed behind by the keeper.
He's going behind anyway. It wasn't on target. Got his bearings all wrong, the keeper.
Still time. I think there's still a good 4 minutes left here. The corner from Murphy to the near post. Sunderland had it clear. They've won the first ball. They've defended it. Livramento to Hall, closed down. He sends it forwards again. Byrne is there, but so too are Sunderland. Joe Linton has played it against Mayenda, and it's come for Hume up the line. Mayenda here trying to get away from Livramento. Joe Linton covering. Back it goes to Ramsdale. On to Ramsey. They need an equaliser. It was about winning today, but now it's about preventing a disastrous late defeat. Sunderland will be back above Newcastle in the league, and there's 3 weeks till they play again, Newcastle. A long time to sit on this. Chow and Livramento near side. 25 yards out, Livramento, low cross. Wissa controls, then has it taken off him. Difficult one because he was having to really stretch to get there. Now Hall on halfway, comes across, gives it to Chow into the middle, up to Livramento. He's got 2 red shirts on him. Murphy comes in off the wing. Reynildo slides in, ball rolls to Joe Linton. Ramsey stretching. It's been fouled, but play goes on. Willock, they just need some quality, Newcastle. Willock floats one in. Byrne is there, but can't get it. Lefay's trying to let it run, and it's a goal kick. Sunderland supporters making the most of the position their team is in, jeering and waving at Newcastle fans who are leaving. We've reached 7 minutes, but there were 2 minutes where 2.5 minutes where there was no football. Joe Linton's header, and he's got it on the floor, over to Hall, just behind halfway. Doesn't feel like a lot of belief inside St James's Park. That's a foul by Lefay on Ramsey near the centre circle. The referee wants 7 minutes of football, then they'll play on for at least another 2 minutes in this additional period. Ramsdale free kick to the edge of the area, headed on by Byrne. Wissa, it's fallen nicely, but Sunderland get it clear, and Hall, edge of the area, gets tackled. It looked like it was going to just land for Joe Willock, but it was taken off his toes, and now Mayenda here trying to run at Livramento. Johan Wissa gets back to make a potentially goal-saving tackle. Ramsey turning behind halfway, whipped over to Livramento. Been tripped by Reynildo, who gets a yellow card, another Sunderland player in the book. It's up to the referee how long we play, but that looked like it was just going to fall to Willock, didn't it?
Yeah.
Jacob Murphy sticks one in straight at Lefay. It's a flat delivery. Reynildo out into the stand. They've got to get it back in quickly. Livramento. Ramsdale's behind him. Referee says get on with it. Livramento into the box looking for Byrne. It's beyond him. It's headed behind.
Goal kick.
It's given a goal kick. And Sunderland think that they are there. They turned it around. They've had a good second half, no question. Newcastle have had a nightmare since the interval, after playing well in the first 45, and it looked like it was going to be their day. Elborg up the pitch, there's the final whistle, and Sunderland have another win in the derby, the double over Newcastle. And it's that 15-year wait for a win in this fixture in the league that goes on, and no win in 11 Premier League derbies, and Sunderland celebrate, and it's a massive result for them. Robbie with the winner. They all get around Luke O'Nien, who had a shocking first half and could have cost his team, but now he'll be hailed a hero. Newcastle United beaten by 2-1. Sunderland's day to celebrate again, and well, there are big questions to be answered about the second half performance, how bad it was, and how a situation that looked good at half time. They needed another goal, Newcastle. They could have had it in the first half, but they were outplayed for most of the second period. Yes, they had one disallowed, but that performance in the second 45 was nowhere near enough, nowhere near good enough, John Anderson, and there will be quite a big backlash to this, I think. A second derby defeat in a week that's also seen them go out of the Champions League. It's been really costly.
Yeah, definitely. Look at no qualms with the result. Sunderland, better side second half. Better side second half by a long way. Carried more of a threat, had more of a desire. I have to say, at half time you didn't see it coming. Thought we played all right first half. Didn't create a great deal, but all in all, you would say over the course of the 99 minutes or whatever it was, better side won.
Certainly on the second half. Yeah. It didn't work for Newcastle in the second half. Can you think about why that might have been?
I have no idea. The worst thing that can happen seems to be at this moment in time is half time coming. Because whatever's said and whatever they do in the dressing room at half time doesn't seem to be working, because we come out second half a totally different team.
They're going around the pitch, Newcastle, to applaud the fans. They're getting some applause back, but this is this is an unhappy St James's Park, as you would expect. Sunderland celebrate at the Leazes End. They go above Newcastle in the table, and if this season is about qualifying for Europe, well, Sunderland are now ahead of Newcastle in those stakes. They've got a lot of work to do when they return in their final 7 games, but they've got 3 weeks before they play again to stew over this, to pick it apart, and the last thing you wanted was to lose this game at any time. But when you've got 3 weeks to wait before you play again, it's a really, really long time to have this as your last result to look back on, and the way that they lost it as well. Conversations are going to be difficult and unpleasant. And like I said, a bad week, really. Started well enough at Chelsea, but Barcelona on Wednesday and now Sunderland. 2 defeats in a row. They could afford to lose one of them, not both, and they've lost both.
Yeah, look at the defeat midweek. Yet again, for 45 minutes we were very good. Second half we got well and truly pummeled. And a similar situation here today. And as I say, you just wonder what's been said and what's been done in the dressing rooms at half time, because they come out in that second half and they look a totally different team. You know, Sunderland came out second half, they had more energy, they had more desire, the movement was better. You know, and when you see the teams being named, you know, Sunderland missing a lot of players. It's a tough one to take, but you know, as I say, on the balance of play in that second half, Sunderland is
First half they should have scored again, shouldn't they? Or, you know, it's an easy thing to say, but they did have chances. Elanga just over with a header into the side netting. Botman hit the post. They're probably their best chances, but those opportunities were there for them. If they'd scored a second goal, then the second half would have been very different. That's a real source of regret, I think.
Well, making it sound like the first half was all one way, and it wasn't.
No, Sunderland did have a couple of chances.
Sunderland had chances. Ramsdale's had to make a real good save in that first half from Talby. You know, it's a strong hand to push it away. If the Botman header goes in, you'd think most definitely a different game. Elanga's header, boy, couldn't have done any more. You know, it's a great ball played in, but he's arrived from a long way, got up really well, and it's a good header. Just goes over the crossbar, and then he's got the other one where he's got to go across the keeper. He goes near post, but you know, as I say, at half time, you didn't see the capitulation that was to come. You know, but full credit to them, they took full advantage of that. You know, some teams wouldn't, but they most definitely did.
Sunderland continue to celebrate on the touchline, and the supporters being held back, so they will, I'm sure, as you would expect, quite rightly celebrate and sing. And Newcastle have gone back inside, and now the analysis begins and the fallout from another derby defeat. This stadium's hosted some big nights, some big games this season in the Champions League and domestic cups, but it's also been the scene of another derby day disaster for Newcastle United, who've lost home and away to Sunderland this season, and they don't play again for 3 weeks as they go into the international break. Final score at St James's Park, Newcastle United